in uh, online classes for over 3 or 4 or 5 years, right? And this is nothing new. Um, so you need to be listening to these examples just to help you understand, and you'll really be successful. So I'm going to give you um, some reasons why you could crash when you're out on the road. And you got to remember you're brand new, so you need to learn the process. So the first thing is lack of experience. Um, a lot of beginning drivers just have not been on the road. Your mom and dad won't take you out. They can't take you out. You're not a legal driver. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I've been trained to drive people who don't know how to drive. I've been trained to handle in case you panic, and I know what to do to hopefully avoid a crash. So, lack of experience, new drivers misjudge distance. For instance, I may tell you to stop at the stop sign, you hit the brake too late, we go into the street. In that case, if I don't hit the emergency brake, you're going to go into the intersection and get hit. So, I always have to be ready in case of an emergency. Um, a lot of beginning drivers stop too late, causing a rear end crash. So a lot of beginning drivers have rear end crashes. My day is going great. How are you? Next, overconfident. A lot of beginning drivers are overconfident. Maybe you've been in the car with mom and dad. You have a driving game. And there's some good driving games out there. Don't get me wrong. Um, a student driver may speed on wet roads. They believe they can handle conditions, but they lose control. So overconfidence can be extremely dangerous. And unfortunately, I've been in the car with drivers who are overconfident. They go 10 to 15 to 20 over the limit. They go too fast in downtown areas. They go too fast in neighborhoods. They're driving too fast in parking lots. They're driving too fast in downtown areas. So if I don't stop you, you're going to end up killing me and yourself. Number three would be distractions. A lot of beginning drivers, they're on the phone, they're uh, dashboard dining, they're eating when they should be focusing on driving. They are doing personal grooming. Hey, my eyebrows look good. My eyelashes are crispy. Yeah, I'm looking good. Then you just ran a light. So your job in the driving, right? You're checking your phone notifications. You're drifting out of the lane, side swap your car. We'll see more of this now in 2025 because there are more things in our car. There's the info screen. There are smartphones. There are updates. Number four would be poor steering control. A lot of you don't know how to hold the steering wheel. Do I hold it at 9 and 3? Do I hold it at 7 and 5? Do I hold it at 10 and 2? It depends on how long your arms are. I have very long arms. I'm 6'4". I'm about 260. I have very long arms. 9 and 3 might not be good for me. 7 and 5 might be more comfortable. I will help you adjust yourself so you can feel comfortable. We don't want you too close to the steering wheel. We don't want you too far away. You want to be comfortable in the car, and comfort is so important. Wear thin sole shoes. Wear Converse. Crocs are okay. Do not wear old platform Nikes. Do not wear old boots. Wear thin soled Converse. They're a pretty good thin sole shoe. I don't have any Converse. Wear a thin sole shoe. Don't wear thick running shoes. You won't be able to feel the pedal. Don't wear old shoes. I want you to wear a thin sole shoe so you can feel the gas and feel the brake. Failure to check blind spots. If I tell you to make a lane change to the left, you need to look over your left shoulder. You're going to look over your right shoulder. If I tell you to make a lane change to the right, you're going to look over your left shoulder. So beginning drivers forget left and right. But you're saying, what? They do? Yes. Beginning drivers forget left and right. I love it. I've been through Toronto before. Thank you so much. I want to bring you value. Tell me why you like them. Please. I love it. Keep watching. We all get nervous sometimes, but for beginning drivers, if I tell you to make a right turn, you might go to the left side of the street. Or if I tell you to make a left turn, you might go to the right side of the street. So literally, I have to reteach you your left and right. And if I don't catch it in time, you're going to hit a car head on. If I tell you to make a left turn, you might go all the way to the left side of the road. That's the wrong side. In your mind, I'm making a left turn, but I didn't stay to the right side. We drive in North America. We have to drive on the right side of the road. Trust me, you'll forget. You're probably saying, how can people forget? They forget. And it's my job to help you, not embarrass you, not make you feel bad, but to remind you in a positive way. So, you're not checking your lanes, you're not looking over your shoulder, you're going to cut off a car. And then people will be angry at you. Next one, misjudged speed. Going on a curve. A lot of beginning drivers go too fast on curves, will slide off of the road, going into the ditch. I've been in the ditch 4 or 5 times. Why? Student drivers go too fast. I couldn't catch the car in time. We're already into the curve about 40. I try to turn the wheel. The rear of the car slides. We're in the ditch. And that's not fun. Okay? So go slow into your turns. Beginning drivers have a difficult time keeping speed control. If the speed limit is 50, you're at 30. If the speed limit is 70, you could be at 80. You could be at 55. So you have to learn to keep up with the cars, and that does take time. And I understand that, and I'm patient, and I'm going to help you, but I'm going to keep you accountable. If you keep making mistakes, Tyler, I'm going to keep reminding you, because you have to learn in a short amount of time how to become a safe driver. Panic. A lot of beginners hit the brake, hit the gas. You panic, and that makes the car squat down, the front wheels rise up, and we lose control of the car. So I try to keep the environment chilled, comfortable. That's why you got to wear thin-sole shoes. A driver slams the brake unnecessarily. A lot of beginning drivers do that. You haven't been behind a beginning driver. What they do, they ride their foot on the brake. You've got to stay calm. You've got to encourage them to give them support, because I'm your number one fan. I'm going to encourage you to learn. All of you are different. Some of you will learn quickly. Some of you will learn slowly. Some of you almost need to have a near miss accident before you say, oh, I'm going too fast. So once I learn your personality after the second or third drive, I'll be able to help you. So we don't want you to make panic stops. We don't want you to swerve really hard. We want you to take your time. So no panic reaction. This is including, a lot of you will turn the wheel just like this because you're so nervous, you're so overwhelmed. And if I see you doing that, I'll just get the car over to the right, calm you down, tell a dad joke, tell a funny joke, get you comfortable. And if you're so overwhelmed, I may have to switch you out, but everyone's a little bit different. Ignoring traffic signs. You saw the stop sign, but you didn't stop. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop. I'm sorry, I messed up. You did mess up, and we got hit. So there's no second chances. If we blow a stop sign and get hit, you will fail the class. We'll have to call the police. You'll be crying. Your parents will be like, are you okay? We don't want that to happen. So a lot of you think this is like a joke, but it's not a joke. We have someone's lives in our hands. I have your life in a hand. You have my life in your hand. You got to stay calm. You got to stay chilled. You have to do your best to listen, to get over your panic, energy, nervous energy, and then you will calm down. So this is what we started in parking lots, going up and down the aisle. You need to bring this down because you can ask me, what do we do first? You're going to go into the parking lot. You're going to go up the aisle, down the aisle. You're going to make hand over hand turns to the right, hand over hand turns to the left. Once I see you feeling comfortable and looking where you want to go, then I'm going to move you to the neighborhood. Let's go over to the neighborhood. Okay. You're going to make 12 right turns, 12 left turns, looking where you want the car to go. You notice I'm turning my head, but you won't do that. You're just going to look straight ahead, but I need you to look to the right. If you don't look to the right, the car's going to go really wide across the street. But you're probably saying, but that's what people, no, you haven't been in the car. I'm a technician. I like technique. I like good fundamentals. I like good hand positioning. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to be smiling. So you're going to ignore traffic signs. Student drivers tend to run red lights because they are focused on the road. So I want you to see the big picture. What color's the light? What color's the Tesla? What color's the Corvette? What color's the police car? What color's the light? So I've got to get you to kind of breathe and relax. For the first 20 minutes, you're going to be nervous. Your hands are going to be sweating. Your face is going to be twitching. Your eye might be twitching. I've seen it. I've seen so many different things before. Your foot might have a cramp in it. Okay. Wherever you are, I will help you. If you wear glasses, wear your glasses. If you wear contact, don't try to be all pretty. Oh, I'm not going to be pretty. You can't see. Have your big, thick pop bottle glasses on and be able to see. If you have glasses, wear them. If you take medication for anxiety or panic attacks, take your medicine. Okay? Please let me know. Next, difficulty in parallel parking. All beginner drivers struggle at parallel parking. I will show you around the second or third drive. We'll set you up by a car. We'll reverse back. We'll turn the wheel all the way to the right. The rear of the car will go in at a 45 angle. You have to know how to parallel park. If you can't parallel park, you won't pass your test. But my mom doesn't know how. I'm not teaching your mom. But my dad doesn't know how. I'm not teaching your dad. My sister skipped it during COVID. That's your sister. She's 21. My sister still can't park. I'm not teaching your sister. I'm teaching you. So you will know how to parallel park and you will gain confidence. New drivers hit a parked car while attempting to parallel park because of poor spatial awareness, meaning you don't have spatial awareness when you're walking in a hallway. You hug the right, you hug the left. So we got to teach you spatial awareness. Inadequate observation. New drivers fail to notice pedestrian crossings. We go into a downtown area, downtown Detroit, downtown Toronto, downtown Los Angeles, California, downtown Houston, Texas. There are thousands of pedestrians. They'll walk right in front of you. And if you hit them, it's your fault. So we've got to anticipate when people will walk. Cover your brake, slow down. So we always want to prepare for pedestrians anytime we're at an intersection. Please remember this. Poor weather conditions. New drivers lose control on icy roads because they don't know how to adjust their speed. If it's raining, reduce your speed. If it's fog, reduce your speed. If it's snow, reduce your speed. Anytime there's adverse conditions and you have to drive with your headlights on, just drive slower. The number one reason why people speed is because they are late. You're late to school. You're throwing your clothes on. You're getting your coffee. You're getting some money from mom and dad. You're out the door doing 80 down the street. You forgot to take your sister to school. You left your homework at home. You left your phone on the kitchen table. You left your money. You're like, I got to go back home. And you're going to be late the first hour. And your teacher's going to be upset. You might as well go back home, take your sister, get your money, drop her off. Okay, so don't speed. New drivers lose conditions on bad. Misunderstanding right of way. Four-way stops. I will take you on the road with the four-way stop. What do I do? The first car there is the first car to stop. If two cars come together, the car on the right has the right of way. But you're going to forget. You're going to panic. I'm going to see the vein on the side of your neck pulse. I'm going to see your cheek start flexing. Are you true? Yeah. You're going to get nervous. You go through this emotional transformation. So you got to know the right of way. A driver turns left at an intersection without yielding, you're going to get T-boned. That's our fault. So left turns are the most dangerous. Please write this down. Over-relying on technology. All of you will have smart screens. Look, the cars today have GPS. They have Google Maps. They have Apple CarPlay. They are smart cars. You will never use a map anymore. Let's pretend this is a map. This piece of paper is a map. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, all of you don't, I'm a social studies teacher. You don't know what maps are. You need to know north, south, east, west. You need to know your car. I can look on my phone. What direction am I going? I don't know. Look at the sign. What sign? Where are we going? I don't know. Can I look on my phone? You're going east. What? You got to go west. You're going the wrong way. What? So you need to learn directions. You're over reliant on a GPS. And then sometimes it makes you make a U-turn, which is unsafe. Next one, you're fatigued, you're tired. You're playing video games all night, and you're not that good. I'm better than you because I have better equipment. And I pick my time when to play. And I'm a smart player. I can show you my stats. This is why I won a 50-90. You got to have good equipment. But good equipment doesn't make you good. You've got to practice. So a lot of you are tired. Student drivers fall asleep during the lesson for a long period of time. So every half an hour, we switch drivers. Okay, if we're going to drive for a 3-hour slot, every half an hour, we get out, we stretch our legs. That's a long time. So when I first started, I had a student drive straight through. After about 40 minutes, they start veering off the road. What does one do if they are sliding on ice? Okay, if you're sliding on ice, you want to, lift your foot off the gas. If you're sliding, you've got to reduce your speed. Lift your foot off the brake. Look where you want to go. So you will fall asleep for a long period of time. I had a car very cold. We keep it fun. If you're getting tired, we got to get up and get out and stretch our legs, okay? You're not locked up in the car for 3 hours, okay? So we get up, we get out, we stretch our legs. Every half an hour, we switch. We'll go to a downtown area. We'll go to a neighborhood. We'll do parking on the school. Do figure eights. We'll go to a community college, drive on the outer ring. We'll go to a shopping center, not to go shopping, but to drive around the outer ring. They have stop signs. They have yield signs. We'll practice pulling out in traffic and making right turns, making left turns. Each kid drives 8 to 10 miles. Okay, and then we look at trying to improve. Nervousness. All of you will be nervous. A driver stalls at a busy intersection. You panic. I will help you. This causes confusion because drivers are going to honk their horn. Your dog thinks so because he or she's talking to me. Failure to signal. You're going to forget to use your signal. You're going to have on the wrong signal. If I tell you to go turn on your right turn signal, you turn on your left. So be patient with yourself. A lot of drivers won't be patient with you. And it's my job to teach you real life. People, it's cutthroat out here. They're going to road rage on us. The number one reason, we go too slow. The number one reason, we are driving too slow. The number one reason we're driving too slow. So you got to go with the flow of the traffic. Failure to signal. New drivers change lanes without signaling. Surprising another driver. This causes a side swipe. Difficult merging. New drivers hesitate while merging on the highway with fast-moving traffic. If I tell you to get up to 60, you're going to be going 30. If I tell you to get up to 60, you're going to be going 40. So we got to learn to get you up to speed. Poor night driving skills. None of you will be driving at night with me, not because I'm scared. It's just because we have such a small class. You're going to be driving from 9 in the morning to about 7:30. Okay, it still gets dark early. We still haven't changed times yet, but you need to get a night drive. So drivers fail to dim their headlights. Misjudging gaps. A gap is when you pull out in traffic. Let's pretend you're making a right turn onto the main thoroughfare. You pull out in front of a car. You give your instructor a heart attack. You give your parents a heart attack. They're not going to want to drive with you anymore. So you want to make sure it's clear. But beginning drivers misjudge distance. A driver attempts to turn left across the traffic, but misjudges the speed of the car. You almost get hit, causing a collision. Inability to handle emergency situations. You might swerve into a tree. These are some really scary situations, but it's my job. If you're getting really nervous, I'll give you a break. I'll have you switch drivers. We'll get out of the car a moment. These are kind of some extreme examples. Speeding. A new driver should never be speeding. A student driver should never be speeding in a student driving car. Never. We're always driving at the speed limit or below. If you're speeding, I'll give you a warning. I'm going to switch you out. Okay. Residential areas, we are at about 22, 23. Okay. We've got to stay focused because we do go onto a lot of side streets. Poor reaction time. You might be very slow at hitting the brake or slow at hitting the gas. Incorrect use of mirrors. You want to see the side of the car. You want to frame your rear window in the mirror. Difficult with hill starts. We don't have a lot of hills in our area. Drivers might roll backwards. You might panic. Misunderstanding of roundabouts. Love it. Okay. We're going to go through 5 or 6 roundabouts. We will go through, it's a part of the driving DNA today. A new driver might exit the roundabout without yielding, hitting another car. Overloading the vehicle, you might carry too many passengers. Ignoring maintenance, tires, brakes, oil changes. I'll show you how to check the oil. I'll show you how to change a tire. You got to know how to do these things. Failure to adapt to traffic flow. That's what a lot of you will do. Meaning we're driving in rush hour. You need to be driving about 47 to 52. You're driving at 35. People are angry. They're tailgating us. Then they're going to cut us off. So it's my job to get you up to speed. Peer pressure. You're going to have friends in the car. You're going to be driving in groups of 3 or 2. You make a mistake, your friends are going to look at you like, man, you can't drive. But I'm going to be confident and I'm going to give you love and support. That's what I'm supposed to do. We're still going to go. We're going to keep pushing. So 30 reasons why you need a good instructor. Number 1, I'm going to teach you the dangerous areas, how to change lanes. Number 2, advanced technologies. 3, building confidence. I'm really big on building confidence. Okay, that's really important. That's who I am. I'm not scared to make a mistake. I love cars. I love driving. So it's really important that you need to understand. We're going to slow down. I have a notice that the driver is fast. So if you drive really fast, other cars will drive fast. If you drive slow, other cars will drive slow. If you drive erratic, other cars will drive erratic. You want to get into that middle lane and drive really smooth, right? I teach you to adapt to traffic, right? Driving teacher updates students on new laws, penalties. I want you to be compliant. I want you to be good drivers. Teach you hazard perception, going through a school zone, going in a neighborhood, going in a downtown area. All those areas are dangerous, going through roundabouts, going on a really curvy, narrow road. They're all dangerous, but very fun. Real life experience. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're struggling, I'm going to tell you. And then I'll show you how to get better. I want you to correct your mistakes in real time. Well, I almost cut off her car. Well, you didn't look over your shoulder and you turned your whole body. Relax, turn your head. I want you to be smooth. If we're hammering the gas all the time, we're going to use all the gas up. Be smooth. We got to be prepared for adverse weather conditions. It's called weather changes all the time. I want to encourage patience. Some people don't like teaching kids. Some people don't like teaching driver's ed. School teachers, police officers, people from the military, school bus drivers make great driving instructors. There's a shortage of driving instructors. Backing into a driveway, you need to learn how to back into your driveway. You go past your driveway, you put the car in R for reverse, you roll back. If the driveway's on the right, we turn the wheel all the way to the right. The rear of the car will go in to the right, the front will swing out to the left. If your driveway's on the left, we turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, the rear will go in, the front will swing out to the right. We have to know how to back in a driveway and pull in a driveway. A lot of beginners don't know how. So that calmness and patience is extremely important. Blind spots, we talked about this. We also talked about dangers, being distracted, building situational awareness. I really am big about this. Type in questions you have. Okay, type in questions you have. I hit you with a lot of information. Type in some questions you have for me. All of these skills on your first and second drive. I need all of you to pause for a moment. Put in some questions for me that you have. Take a moment. Put in some questions for me. Some of you will say, well, have you been into a crash before? No, I have not been into a crash before. Okay? Put in questions. This is where I get a chance to know you. This is your class, not mine. So put in those questions. I've already done the roster, so that's good. All of you put in questions. I'll wait till all of you. If all of you ask a couple questions, it goes really quick. There's no dumb questions. And I want you to feel comfortable asking me questions. Something you might forget on the test, to actually stop. People panic at stop signs, or they panic at yellow lights at intersections, or they forget to turn the wheel when making a right turn, or they forget to look to the left. Okay, at making a right turn on red, you have to stop first. A lot of beginners just blow through the red and make a right turn. If you don't stop and look and we get hit, it's our fault. So my job is to kind of calm you down and teach you. What is failure to maintain your lane? You can't keep the car straight in your lane. A lot of beginning drivers struggle at lane positioning. So if you keep hugging the right, you're going to go off the road. And if you're in a dangerous condition, they will cancel the test. We will go into the ditch. You're looking down at the line. You're looking at your speedometer. Michael, I would prefer a driving schedule instead of saying, when will we discuss the driving schedule? I already have my schedule done for the next 2 months. So, Michael, I have a driving question. I'm bouncing it back to you. Give me scheduling a drive. We already know that. How about a driving question? So I'm forcing you to think. So I'm gonna kick it back to you. You were talking about switching out drivers. As for instance, we're gonna drive 9 to 12. Okay, that's 3 drivers. Every half an hour we switch. You got to have an hour of driving, right? 3 drivers, 9 to 12. Got it? So every half an hour we switch. Instead of me driving you an hour straight through where you lose focus, you go all off the road, every half an hour we switch. So that's what I mean. Okay? So if I schedule 9 to 12, that's 3 people. I usually drive in blocks of 3 hours or 2 hours. Good question. Let's keep it going. What do you do? What do you do? Make yourself feel calm. You listen to the instructor. You have some deep breathing. You think about positivity. You want to be successful. Driving is a skill that you need to learn for a lifelong time. What do you do if you drive down a one-way street? You need to get off that street immediately and turn into the nearest driveway or roadway. A lot of people do make mistakes in downtown areas going the wrong way. It's more common than you think. 23 years. What is the hardest part of driving for you? Drivers who don't listen, drivers who have anxiety, drivers who panic, drivers who think they know everything, drivers who don't listen to their parents, drivers who argue with mom and dad, and then they get into the car with me and they're so frustrated and upset, they are ready to blow up. So I look at your nonverbals because I have a communications major and history minor. I look at your nonverbals. Are you shaking? Are you sweating? Is your eye bloodshot? Do you look angry? You don't know my nonverbal language yet, but I'm learning. And once I drive with you a couple of times, I'll be able to better serve you and help you. So really, you are the one that is panic stricken. I know my job, like if I was your heart surgeon. Okay, Tyler, you're coming into heart surgery. We're going to have to crack your chest open. We're going to have to break your rib cage. We're going to have to stop your heart. We're going to have to put you on a machine. So I know what I need to do. You're the one worried about the heart surgery, but I know. I'm just pretending I'm a heart surgeon. So I know what I need to do in the car, and I need to prepare you mentally for that drive. How do you know the speed limit on unmarked roads? They're usually 35 or 45. How are left turns more dangerous? Riley, you're turning across oncoming traffic. And if you turn across oncoming traffic, that type of turn is extremely dangerous because beginning drivers and experienced drivers misjudge traffic. And if you misjudge traffic, we're going to get hit. That's why left turns are the most dangerous. That is a test question. Love that. It's okay. It happens. What's the best way to feel comfortable in the car? Just trusting the process. Wear comfortable clothes. Relax. Feel good. Feel chilled. Right? Feel happy. because you're about to learn a very important skill. I smile when I say this every single day, every single second, because I have a chance to impact your life. Will we start in public areas parking lot? We start in the school parking lot. Wherever we meet, school parking lot. You're going up and down the parking lot. You're practicing keeping the car straight in the lane. You're going to make a right turn, go down the next parking lot. You're going to do that 5 or 10 times. So if I have 3 people in the car, each of you are going to do it 10 times. That's 30 times going up and down the parking lot. Then we're going to drive around the light poles doing figure eights, hand over hand in, hand over hand out. Oh, that's a lot of work. Yes, it is. Then we're going to go into the neighborhood. We're going to make 12 right turns, 12 left turns. I have 5 minutes. We're going to keep it going. So we're going to start in the school parking lot. Then you're going to go into neighborhoods and make 12 right turns, 12 left turns, practice pulling in driveways, practice reversing out. We'll do some stall parking in the school parking lot, angle parking. And then when you're ready, I'm going to get you on the road. I know my skill set. It's to find the drive with one hand. If you want to crash, you want to have both hands on the wheel, because if we hit a pothole, you lose control and crash. I'm going to tell the company, the kid didn't want to listen. He had one hand on the wheel. So who really does that? No one. You can do what you want when you're done with me, but when you're driving with me, you're going to have both hands on the wheel. Oh, you're one of those guys? Yeah, I'm one of those guys. But you're going to have fun. That's why we're here. We're here to have fun. I have to be in control of this situation, because if we crash, it's on me. They're going to question me. They're going to test me. They're going to test you. They're going to have mistakes. But why are we manifesting negativity? No, we're not driving with one hand, unless you're so nervous and so scared. Every state is different. In our state, you have to be 14.8 or 14.9 to take level 1. You have to be 16 years old and be driving for about 6 months before you can take your road test. Every state is different. Texas is different than Michigan. Michigan is different than California. Las Vegas is different than Oregon. So every state is different. Some states you have to be 18 to take driver's ed. Some states you have to be 16. So every state is different, because when our country was formed, we have to have people come into the territory. Every state makes their own law. I'm both. I'm on both. I do multi-streaming. Ask more questions. So I like the questions. So every state is different. And certain certifications are good for certain states. That's a good question. So we talked about starting in public areas. Yes, the school is a public area. A restaurant is a public area. We're not going on private property doing donuts. We're driving in the parking lot first. That's a good question. But don't panic. What's the best way to feel comfortable? Relax. Trust your instructor. But some of you might be panicked. It's normal. I always say hi to your parent. Always say hi to your guardian. They'll tell me about you. They may tell me something bad. They may tell me something good. We got a couple minutes. Everything is okay. We won't be able to schedule tonight. Not stressed. Not worried about it. Switching drivers. You already talked about that. Okay. You have to drive 1 hour. We're going to switch every half an hour. Feeling calm. Just think about positivity. Think about how successful you're going to be. Okay, I got a couple more questions. What are blind spots? They're over your shoulders. Okay, if you're making a lane change to the left, you got to look over your shoulder. If you make a lane change to the right, you got to look over your shoulder. Cars will sit in those blind spots. Most common mistake made in your class, drivers go too fast. They don't listen to the instructor. They don't listen to the instructor. They don't listen to the instructor. You don't listen to the instructor. Do you think I want you to crash? No. Do you think I'm trying to give you the keys to the car? Yes. Do you think I'm trying to grow you up as quickly as possible? Yes. But the reality is some of you aren't ready. And I'll find that out by what you do in class. I'll find that out by how you drive. I'll find that out by how you participate. These questions were good because they kind of talk about a little bit of the chapter. And sometimes we do different things in class. I already had the attendance done. All of you are going to put your first, middle, and last name in. Go ahead, do that. Put your first, middle, and last name in for me. I like the questions. Very powerful, very positive. Go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll do some scheduling tomorrow. Don't stress. It's all good. Take it chilled. It's good. Don't worry, we'll be driving. So once you put your information in, you can go. Okay, go ahead and do that. I'll see you. Bye. It's all good. Just put your information in, you can go.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. It was real. Don't stress, Michael. We got you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, guys, so it's really important that you continue to strive and get better every day. And I think it's really important, those of you who are listening, we want to continue to get you better to get on the road. I am a state certified driving instructor. I'm in the Midwest, and we are trying to get as many people as we can ready to drive. And put your questions in, put your comments in. I want to ask, where are you from? What state, what part of the country are you from? Go ahead and put that in. Right now, I'm going to talk about how important an instructor is to really help you become successful. Driving is a lifelong learning skill. I want to say that to all of you. And if you have a really good instructor and good parents, good guardians who are going to teach you, you're going to be a great driver. If your mom sucks, your dad sucks, your mom road rages, your dad road rages, your instructor was garbage, you're going to be garbage. You've got to put in good work to really develop those habits. It takes 10 years to learn how to drive and to become a master. Example, a driver teacher encourages a student to stay up to date on new driving technologies, regulations, ensuring they remain safer. Eventually, I will be driving an electric vehicle. It may not be a Tesla. I want the Tesla. I think the Tesla offers the best technology package, and they're very affordable. Okay. California, downtown Chicago, Illinois. Each of these areas are huge metropolitan areas. So a driving teacher helps students navigate crowded streets, including dealing with aggressive drivers. The biggest thing I see as your instructor, there are a lot of aggressive drivers who will force us to go faster than we want or cut over and take our parking spot. So my job is just to keep you chilled and have you relax. Next, teaching how to handle peer pressure. Peer pressure is huge. We've all been there before. We've all done dumb stuff before, right? I don't have to go into personal examples. A driving teacher discusses how to say no to friends who are encouraging you to speed or risky behavior. And unfortunately, for all of you who are under 30, it's called the kryptonite quotient. Okay, there was a kid or a young man, he had a Z01, and that's a very expensive car. He was on scene TV. He went 130 miles an hour and killed 3 people. This was in Houston, Texas. I always use this as an example. So peer pressure is everywhere. And you've got to calm yourself down and you got to really take a step back. Next, encourage and respect of other road users, motorcyclists, pedestrians. We want to promote harmony and the e-bikes and e-scooters. More people are using those. New York, New Jersey, Houston, Texas. So you've got to really stay focused on that and remember there are other road users out there. You're not the only road user. Using proper technique at roundabouts. There are more roundabouts today. Every year, I see more roundabouts at because it's more efficient. You can push more traffic through. I see a lot of drivers struggling with roundabouts. And if you struggle with roundabouts, type in yes. So the driving teacher guides the student through multiple lane roundabouts. They are very confusing. If you're in a far Left lane, you can only go straight through. If you're in the near right lane, you can only turn right. You got to know what lane you're in prior to getting into the roundabout. If you're going to the right, turn on your right turn signal. If you're going straight through, you don't need a turn signal. I looked at our motor vehicle code. Every state is different. Emphasizing the importance of maintenance. Because I'm in a car all the time and my life is on the line, I look at cars differently than a lot of you do. You've got to have good brakes. You have to have really good tires. You have to have a reliable battery. It's very cold in the Midwest right now. If you have a battery that's 5 years old, 7 years old, it's probably not going to start your car in the morning. If it's in the summertime when it's really hot outside, that battery is heat soaked, it's probably not going to start your car. So you need to do your maintenance, test a battery, take it to an automotive shop. They'll do a load test. They'll hook up an actual electronic device. Red is for positive, black is for negative. They'll turn the device on. It will load the battery up as if it was starting a vehicle and the radio was on and all these things, and it will test the battery. If the battery fails the load test, then you need a new battery. Okay? Teaching fuel efficient route management. This is really big because I'm an instructor. We need to manage our fuel economy. If I'm having you drive fast on expressways, on long straightaways, we won't get good fuel mileage. Typically in the summer, I'm driving 125 to 175 miles a day. I know that's crazy, but I want to manage and have good routes. I want to route that is 7 mile loop, 10 mile loop. That is fun. We have right turns, we have left turns. So a lot of you are like, I didn't really think about this. That's because you never really had your instructor talk to you. I'm taking you to the inside details. This is why you're like, wow, this is pretty interesting. That's what some of you are saying, and some of you say, this is boring. You have to understand the goal of every instructor is different. Some don't care. They're just going to take you up and down the street, around the block, you're done. You haven't learned anything. I'm different. So you have to plan for a good route. A driving teacher shows the student how to properly navigate. Apps to find the most efficient route. So we try to have some straightaways. We can get up to about 50. We try to have some smaller roads that are 35, 40. We're going to get you into a neighborhood where it's under 20. We're going to have you go in the parking lot and really work on that steering, hand over hand in, hand over hand out. Reducing anxiety about the driving test. A lot of students get so nervous. That is normal. Was I nervous on my driving test? Of course. Am I nervous when I first get in the car with students? Of course. Because an accident can happen because I don't know them. You don't know me, but you are watching and learning what driver's education is about. What makes a good instructor? What's a good company? What is bad coaching technique? What is good coaching technique? Put your questions in. Introducing autonomous driving features. About 4 years ago, I had a professional development. Before those Teslas and those Mach-E's and those electric vehicles started getting really popular. They are here. There are driving companies around the world using electrical vehicles. This is nothing new. So it's just a matter of time before your guy starts driving an electric vehicle. And then I already have a level 2 plug here in the house because the previous owner was an electrician. I have a level 2 plug less than 25 feet from me. We just need to bring it out to the garage, mount up that NEMA plug. Is the 3-prong plug like for your electric dryer. So we have the 3-prong plug, which takes 220 volts. My dad was an electrician. Thank you, Dad. Proper technique merging. A lot of beginning drivers go too slow. They don't look over their shoulder. You're going to cut off a car. You're going to fail your test. So you need to really be watching these videos. You need to ask questions. Encouraging responsible decision making. That's really important. Every student is different. Some students make really good decisions, and I can say, I want you to make a good decision. they don't run yellow lights because they know if they run yellow lights, we're going to get hit. And if you keep running yellow lights, I'm going to stop, pull you over to the side, and put you in the back because you're making poor decisions. If I was taking driver's ed, I wouldn't want a new instructor. I wouldn't want a super old one. I wouldn't want one in the middle. 10 years, 12 years, 14 years. Because each year, instructors learn how to coach students, how to talk to parents, how to work with the company, how to think outside the box. Because sometimes driving can be boring. You didn't know that, did you? So I try to have different routes that are fun and engaging. I'm not chasing money anymore. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, yeah, I was chasing money, making poor mistakes. Now it's about management. It's about good driving. It's about getting drivers as good as they can get. Everyone's not ready for the road the first or second time. Some students are not ready to get on the road until the third drive. Everyone is different. So I need you to understand this. Night driving skills, a lot of these drivers won't drive at night because my schedule doesn't allow for it, but they're going to be at a disadvantage. They're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to panic. I've had students panic. Emphasizing the dangers of distracted driving. People are on the phone, they're eating, not paying attention. So we want to really bring this next generation of drivers up. The more information I can learn, the more technology I can use, the more driving education simulators I can create. And yes, we're going to be putting a driver's education simulator together and having a driver's education game that is mobile. I'm just giving you some clues. There are a lot of important things coming. How do I drive in construction? You want to drive at 45. Construction zones are 45. If you go over the speed limit, then you possibly will get a ticket. Good question. Keep the questions coming in. What part of the country are you from? Please let me know. A lot of us over rely on technology. You still need to know north, south, east, west. Introducing electric vehicles, they're here. There are companies around the country in the Midwest using EVs. And it makes good sense. If I'm spending about $55 every 2 days driving, I'm going through money. But you're driving the kids too much. No, 5 miles, 10 miles, you have routes. But if you really want to grow your business and drive, you're going to have to get them on routes that are more fuel efficient. Got to avoid a lot of left turns. Proper use of mirrors. A lot of beginning drivers don't check mirrors. They don't frame the rear window in the mirror. They don't check the left mirror. They don't check because you're scared to look out of your bubble. Your bubble is your space. I try to encourage calmness and confidence. Every instructor is different. There are a lot of good instructors on social media. There are a lot of good instructors out there, but I encourage you to go to the driving schools. A lot of instructors are online. I'm online. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm going to help you. I will be starting a stand store. So if you want to jump on a call with me, I'm going to have to get another number. We can set up a call. There'll be correcting mistakes in real time. I have experience correcting mistakes. So what are some of the common mistakes? Not checking blind spots, going too fast, going too slow, not looking left and right before you make a right turn, not checking blind spots, not slowing down going into a turn. Those are only a few. There are more. Teaching hazard perception. A driving teacher helps students recognize potential dangers. Children playing near the road. Adapting to changing traffic laws. Laws are changing. Some speed zones are too slow. Some speed zones are too fast. Everyone is a little bit different. Emphasizing road safety. A driving teacher reinforces the importance of seatbelt use, speed limit, eventually driving independently without fear. That's my goal. I want you to drive independently without fear because I won't be here forever. You will be able to reach out to me, but your mom and dad will only help you so much. If you can't drive by yourself, then you need support, and I can offer that to you and help you. Teaching defensive driving techniques. That's a big skill that I see because people are in such a hurry, not using blinkers, big trucks, big cars. I'm not against big trucks and cars, but a lot of people have those big lifted trucks and they're just going too fast. They're hogging up the lane. So we want to teach you how to deal with that. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up. look at all my videos. I really appreciate it. Let me know where you're from in the comments. Bye.